We should be live, everyone who's watching. Let me
Looks
see.
like we are.
I know it always says it, but it freaks me out.
I just got a notification.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
See, it doesn't pop up on my home for some reason for like a few seconds, and it always throws me for a loop. Oh, upcoming. Here we go. We should be live. Oh, yeah, we sound great. Okay, perfect. So, guys, we're live today. We're going to be covering I got Andrew on, as you guys can see, Arm Fanatic. Go to his channel. What's the link? Or I guess I can comment the link, but
Yeah, it's just Arm Fanatic everywhere. I just keep it real simple. Luckily, I was the only dumbass with that name, so I didn't have to have anything added extra to it.
yeah. And as you guys can see, I'm repping Halftime Sports Bar and Arms to Get It Underground. Halftime Sports Bar gave me a shirt, and they said we will see you next year at the Arm Vendor. So Drew said hello with sunglasses. Cody Sluggett pulling Tim Lewis tomorrow at Battle Zone. You guys are not going to want to miss that. Andrew, are you going to be in Montana? Are you going to be in Great Falls tomorrow?
Not tomorrow. I can't until Saturday because of work, unfortunately.
Okay, no worries. I know that Miles and I are going to be watching the Battle Zone and stuff tomorrow night. But yeah, we're just going to be covering like I did with Miles. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to cover some freaking matches. I'm pumped. Does anyone work anymore? Actually, Clifton, I just make all my money through you going live. So that's that's my job. I am here. It actually notified me this time. Turning on the bell worked, said Tim. Awesome, Tim. I'm glad
My
that you
my
caught
YouTube made $4 whole last month, so that's awesome.
Yeah, dude, I can't believe how much. Did you know that if you send a super chat through Apple, it takes 30% before YouTube even sees it, and then YouTube
Yeah,
takes another 30%?
yeah. Hmm.
Chim Flipper match breakdowns are great. Yeah, so guys, the basis of these breakdowns, and like with Andrew here, I want to get his mindset going through the matches that we talk about. Not only that, I don't want to be mean, but I want to like say where maybe I would do something different, or maybe where he's like, I made a mistake. And then we're just gonna, Armbender is on Saturday, guys. I'm gonna go on my Instagram story. I'm gonna post a link there. You're gonna want to go to the pay-per-view. I will try and drop a link in the chat. I'll try and figure that out while we're going over a match. But yeah, I think these breakdowns are really fun. So the first thing I want to cover is we'll do your match with Ben Brooks at the
Okay.
Little Bender. Dalton Waller commented, oh, I think that's an emoji I can't see.
Yeah, for some
Anyway,
reason it shows up as text for me. It just says
it
face
says
orange
face
biting
orange
nails.
biting nails. It's Dalton maybe needs to get a phone that is compatible with every other phone. All right, guys, let's get into this. I'm gonna start off. I said with Little Bender. We'll share that screen. We are here. I will go full screen. Oh, I might have been watching some footage on someone. I've probably watched this a million times, to be honest.
I know the feeling.
Yo, this is a good round. When he let, oh, I'm gonna turn sound off just so that we're not interfering.
One of the worst things you can do is give Ian time to work because yeah, once he sinks into his spot, he's pretty hard to pull out of it.
And I mean, Pelly's good, but his hit is really what separates him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But you can see, like, he does this thing where he like kicks his wrist out on purpose. But if you're smart about it, you go boom,
Yeah.
bang. But it's tough because he cups it in.
I think it's like his intuition kind of tells him that he's able to get a little bit of height by pulling his wrist back, but he's just
Oh
not
yeah,
100% sure
it's
where.
almost like a kickback, but it's like, in my opinion, it can be done a little better.
Yeah.
Oh, Drew's saying it's actually my fault that the emoji didn't show up. My bad, my bad. Anyways, we are going to be jumping in here. I'll skip ahead. I just wanted to show that round. We are jumping into. So, how did you feel going into this match, Andrew? Well, we kind of get lined up on the table. Let's talk about it. I mean, how are you feeling?
I felt really good going into this. I had a lot of confidence after the Mike Schaaf match, and then that tournament just went undefeated. The only person who really gave me trouble there was Ben Souls, and that's pretty understandable. I feel like he's a reasonable person to have trouble with.
Yeah.
So I felt really good. I knew my elbow was going to be intact and my injury wasn't going to affect me. And because of the rule set with the 3 fouls, what you guys are gonna see, it looks really crazy, but I was just trying to fully utilize the running fouls and all 3 fouls. So if you see me doing crazy stuff, not normal, that was just me trying to use the rule system to the best of my ability.
Yeah, fair enough. Before we jump in, I do. Oh, we're going. I'll say your super chat in a second, Tim. Don't worry. But I do want to let everyone know this was a left hand match. It is just flipped around because Josh used the front facing camera. But we can see you got to stop there in that hook. You look really sticky, and I must say, I think like you have the power. You roll that king's move really well. You get down there. Even there, you kick the wrist out. I know Ben called a foul there. Um, that is one thing. Let me pause this for a second. I'm gonna catch up with the chat and then I'll say my opinion on that. But Tim said buy some protein. All right, Tim. Thank you for the 5 USD super chat. I do appreciate that. It's great to have you here, Tim.
I'm hoarding it all right now.
Hoarding it all right now. And then another guy messaged because he said he never sees my lives. Terry Dactyl or Terry, how you doing? Good to see you in here, Terry. It's great to have you. But yes, guys, I'm going to keep that super chat on the screen as a thank you, and we are going to kick into just I know it's like a little bender and stuff, but when athletes start calling their own stuff, I'm just like, I know Ben's a ref. He's a good ref. And even if your elbow was off, I think Luke there just needs to have the authority and just be like, I'll make my own calls. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do understand that, and we'll see here in the second round. I actually think I won the second round on fouls,
Mm-hmm.
um, but it is what it is. These are just kind of like fun rank matches, um,
Sure.
and it's all in good fun. I honestly I didn't come into this match expecting to beat Ben.
Mm-hmm.
My main goal with him and then with Levi later is going to be was finding where the weaknesses were in my game, where I need to improve. And I learned a lot from this match. I learned where I'm not attacking and I need to in order to start pulling through. Opponents like him, I need to be better about changing directions, keeping my height and pronation. Like I'm good at keeping my pronation static and intact, but continuing to rise and attack through pronation, even in the hook, is important. And I just wasn't doing that against Ben, and I was just trying to just go sideways, go sideways, go sideways, and
Yeah.
I needed that pronation lane in order to because you'll see I was able to take his hand in the king's move. So I think if I did just really pronate through, I could have done something.
Yeah. No, fair enough. David Jansen in here jumping in to say hi. Good to see you, man. Thank you for jumping in. Drew said, DJ, how we doing? Tim said, see that puny human in the black shirt in the background? Yes, that puny human is getting crushed on Saturday. I actually think Brian is in a gray shirt in this, but I do see who you're talking about.
You're in a black shirt too, Tim. Just
Yeah.
point that out.
No, I'm kidding, guys. I'm really excited for my match with Brian, but I think Tim was talking about Luke. And yeah, wow. That you know what, Andrew? I think one thing I will say, and this is more of just something that is unfortunate, but you get that role really well. It's just with guys like Ben and a few guys like that, I feel like almost they kind of swallow your hand a little bit.
Yeah.
And it can be tough to like get that roll on them like that. But you're going in the right direction. You're going backwards and sideways. When Ben surges, he does lose his hand to you. And like you said, that roll on that Kings, I actually think it's quite impressive that you can hold that position. I hate doing that. I don't know why. I just can't do it. And that kickback there, you did really well. Like you kicked back in this direction and it caused his hand to be compromised. He just dove into a flop.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things for you is just maybe pulling someone who has like a good flop, and if you end up in that Kings, just to kind of work on like coming out of it or being able to defend when they dive into a flop. Because if you watch like Devin, he's giving you pressure in the direction where when that he sees that flop incoming, he's getting ready to stand because it's really hard to be like this. And then if they give up on the wrist and switch to arm power, like you have to have that like happy medium ground almost.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And there's a lot I could have done better here too. Like one of my worst, I think, flaws as an arm wrestler is when I start losing, I my instinct, because I have really good lat drag, is to just try to rush to the back of the pad and gain something back. But then
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes I open myself up and I put myself in the king's move when I don't really need to. I can just stay close, and try to crowd up the table, and I'm short enough to where I don't really have to worry about my shoulder going over center line. So
Yeah.
I just need to be more okay with staying at the front of the pad and not rushing to the back and opening, because I'm opening myself up really.
Yeah. Fair
When I do
enough.
that. And yeah, Ben is also just a huge human. I think he has
Oh,
like
he's
130
huge.
pounds on
Is his
him.
elbow even on the pad there right now?
No,
Yeah.
no. This is
Oh,
what
I
I'm
see what
saying.
he's doing. He's making you. Yeah, I see. He's playing a smart move there. But and yeah, go. You're on your side. You grab him low. You do that
I made a
side. Luke
big
calls
mistake
the
right
foul
here.
there.
When I regrip, I totally messed up
No, that's okay. It happens.
right here. Oh,
Yeah, it's just he had the thumb.
yeah.
Ryan Boussier in here. Yo, yo, guys. Chimp Flipper Jr. I think Kings would be better in a strap. No, I think it can be better in a strap because you're just pulling on that leverage. But with a guy like Ben with such a big hand, like much bigger than yours, I think you kind of have to be careful just because I do think I think it depends. It really does depend. But I see where you're coming from, Chimp. The Kings could help there. I mean, if you're not having success in the strap, it doesn't hurt to try. Or if you're not having success out of the strap, it doesn't hurt to try in the strap.
Yeah,
You
one of
know,
my concerns with getting Ben in the straps is like his press, um is, the way that I pull, I feel like if I kind of like, explode into that roll like I try to, if I take his hand in the strap and then he gets into that press position, I still just have a little bit of PTSD from like getting injured, from getting pressed. So I've just been like really doing a lot to try to avoid getting pressed by all means. Just because, yeah, that was like I felt super strong when I got injured, but then once that press and that down presser came in, like I knew when my elbow went, but I was just in denial for a little while.
yeah. No, that's fair. All right, I'm gonna take us over to Arms and Get an Underground, guys. We'll go over your most recent match. This match was last weekend, was it not?
2 weekends ago.
2 weekends ago. There were some good matches on here. I haven't quite got to go to watch
Yeah,
the
lots
full
of
credit.
great. The first
This
match
year.
was 4-3, so it went all 7.
Oh, maybe we'll watch it. I haven't seen it yet.
Thinks might play a part.
Sound we are cutting out.
That
Got
was a really
Kevin.
cool event, really good production. Big shout out to Dion and Montana Streams. They did a
Yeah.
great job.
Oh, I gotta go full screen. All righty. So did the first round already happen? Shoot.
We just slipped and then we went to strap. So that was the first round.
Okay. I wanna.
And you'll be able to see that I like punched myself in the face when I slipped pretty hard.
All right, I'll go back. We
I was seeing stars.
got Mr. Massive Hand Miles Hutton refereeing. Was this in Gear Grabbers again?
Yes, this was at Gear Grabbers. Levi, he was cutting from 250, a little over 250 to make the 242, and my weight that day was about 210. So there was a little bit of a weight gap there, but not too bad, not like Ben.
Yeah.
Levi's very different though. He actually has the exact same size hand as me. Like we measured up our hands and they were exactly the same. So even though he's bigger, his hand isn't. Yeah, but big props. He's
He's
powerful top roller despite
Yeah.
his smaller hand. He doesn't go through like the lanes that a smaller hand arm wrestler would typically go through.
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense. Chim Flipper said, I have a chronic bicep tendon injury that is very vulnerable to a press, so I know that feeling. Oh, yeah, you smacked yourself right in the nose there. Hey?
oh, it hurts so bad, but
What
I was
made
trying to
you
play it
shave?
off. That was actually due to I was just trying to line up my beard over here, and I didn't have my clipper guards on yet, and I wasn't paying attention. I just took a big, huge chunk off, and I was like, "Oh man!" So I had to take it down.
So you didn't want to do it, but you had to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough. No, I'm watching it. I'm like, Andrew doesn't have a beard. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's coming back. It's getting there.
Oh, it's coming. Yeah. Maybe I'll just show up tomorrow with no mustache.
Oh man, I don't know about that.
So I just shave it right now live.
That's I'm blaming the beard on the loss here. Like I didn't have the power I needed, so I would definitely recommend keeping the facial hair intact.
I feel like honestly, like I wouldn't do it for free. I feel like someone would have to offer me money for me to shave my mustache at this point. It's like signature with the hair. I don't know, man. Anyways,
No
we're in the
shame.
strap now. So what felt different in the strap in this versus Ben?
So, well, his hand was a lot smaller, so I wasn't worried about getting like sucked in or anything like that.
Mhm.
But the big problem here was that I changed something. I went no cap, and I should have capped for sure.
Yeah.
But I felt it was really weird. I felt super dominant in the setup. Like my hand, I just felt like I was just crushing him and he couldn't get really what he wanted. But I think I over wrapped him because I've been getting so used to pulling bigger hands
Mhm.
um, that I think I over wrapped him and I gave him access to my fingers. So I made a huge mistake. And then I should have kept um, I should have
Clifton
kept capping for sure.
Clifton said how much to shave the mustache. I'll pay it right now. Oh,
$1 million.
Clifton. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. I'm not shaving the mustache on live right now. Maybe after this match. Dakota, long lost son of Herman Steven Shipton. I'll take it. Herman Steven's a good puller, man.
Yeah, he is.
I will take it. Okay, I wasn't really paying attention. Did you guys slip there?
This one, no, this was where he got. So, I went back to capping, and
Yeah.
it just put a lot of torsion on the top of his thumb, and he just started bleeding like crazy.
Oh, that's
Um,
crazy.
and yeah, so it was definitely not ideal. It was pretty bad. Like it was bleeding a lot. Like there was a lot of blood.
Yeah, that's gross.
So it cut open pretty, and I'm not exactly sure.
Oh,
Like,
they gave him a win on that? They should have just restarted that. That's
yeah,
tough.
yeah, I
600.
felt it open up, and it was like really weird because I just all of a sudden just felt like my hand kind of slipped. But it was he just kind of taped it up, and we went from there.
Proceeded
Um,
on. Yeah.
and from this point, I went back to no capping because I was trying not to irritate the injury on his hand. But I really think I needed the cap in order to get the rotation intact because I didn't really. Here, I actually kind of tried to go outside instead
Okay.
of going inside. So I try to change it up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, he just gets over top of your hand. Hey, like you have that really good stop there, but it's just tough to come from that position. Clifton, I'm not doing it for $600. I'm not doing it for 600. If I didn't pull 2 days, I'd think about it, but oh man, you are making me
That's
tempting though.
1,200 Canadian.
Dude, that's a lot of money just to shave my mustache.
That is, but yeah, it's hard to put a value on the facial hair. It holds a lot of meaning.
I haven't not had a mustache in like 2.5 years.
Yeah, it's weird to see yourself with like when I looked at myself in the mirror, I didn't even recognize like
Yeah, that's fair.
it was so weird. So yeah, I would yeah, definitely keep it. Keep everything intact, keep it all same. Facial hair is good luck. But yeah, as you can see here, he's kind of trying to guard his thumb, and I'm kind of trying to avoid it again.
The
'Cause
max you can send on YouTube is Drew. I think he just pay me cash when I see him tomorrow because then
you
YouTube
guys will see
doesn't.
each other tomorrow. I think he's already there.
Clifton said I just got a huge bonus today, so the most I can do is 5K. That's it. I'm sorry, Clifton. If you gave me 5,000 US dollars, I would probably do it. To be honest, that's
Probably.
a lot of money. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. I mean, it would grow
Nothing's
back
crazy
in
enough
like
to do it.
what? Grow back in like 2 weeks.
Maybe. If you've had it for a while. It'll grow back thicker too.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Clifton's distracting me. Let's go back and watch that round. So yeah, just it seems like his pronation through your cup It's just like more top end match. Does he have a longer arm than you?
A little bit longer, yeah. But what I really think that I did wrong in this is, I think I just overwrapped him because I'm so used to just trying to get a hold of those bigger hands.
Yeah.
And then
It's
I
gonna be
also
tough.
think I didn't get into my normal position. Like if you watch on the Ben match, I'm getting really close up and keeping my hand close to
Yeah.
my chest,
Yeah, I do
and
see
I
the
was setting up
difference for
further
sure.
back. And,
Like if we kind of watch.
yeah, I'm just not as tight as I normally am.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. It's an interesting angle to watch from, but
And
yeah.
his back pressure and pronation was just it was excellent. It's a good thing to show too because um Ben is considered, much better. I don't know if you say much, but he's considered, most people would consider him a more difficult opponent than Levi. But just because of where their different strengths lie, I was able to get into my power a little bit with Ben. Whereas with Levi, he just had strengths in the right areas, even though people would consider him not as high level as Ben, that, he was able to just kind of like work through me because he had the keys to my
Yeah.
weaknesses essentially.
I do want to go over your match against Brian.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I kind of
Just
want
know everyone in this match with Brian, I only weighed 176 pounds. So
yeah, that's fair. Clifton said, well, Ryan first said, I'll shave for money. And then Clifton said, did Andrew try to kick back in that match like a 7? I don't know. I think he means 7 out of 10. I don't know what he means by that.
yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you mean there, Clifton.
Explain it better, Clifton. We're not as smart as you. Oh.
We don't have all that delicious apple moonshine.
We don't have apple pie. All right, Andrew. Let's break this down. Brian Johnson, Andrew Quintana. So you're the 176 guy here.
Yeah.
He does the same setup, and I feel like it goes to ref grip a lot. I feel like he likes ref grip almost, probably because of his hand size.
Yeah, but see, this is where I got in a pretty big argument after this because I felt like if you go back and you look at where that setup ended right before the start, where he was setting our hands was total bullshit. Like in my opinion,
Here?
and yeah, like look at where Brian's hands and knuckles are, and look at his webbing compared to mine.
Does look higher.
Way higher, like super high.
Yeah.
And I kept telling him to bring him down because it wasn't centered. But
yeah, it's this angle. You can't really tell where center is either, which is annoying. I can see you though, not very satisfied with that.
Yeah, and this one went a little bit better because I was complaining.
You know what Brian does very
But
well?
he stays right on top of my knuckle, and I'm trying to get him to come down off of it.
Yeah, and he does. It's like an old trick. All the old guard does it, but they cup their wrist, and then as it straightens out, he goes like this, and he's just micro adjusting. Like I'll show what he does here. And so you guys can look at his bottom pinkies here. You see how it moves just tiny like that when Ben straighten you guys out, and he's just getting as much right there. He's just getting as much wrap as he can. But I find it very interesting because there's a lot of gap here before you guys go. Like, can you see my mouse?
Yeah.
It's a lot of gap right here. And I noticed that hold on, I'm going to turn this down to 0.25 speed. I noticed right before the go, so he regrips, which is fine. And then right before the go, he digs his fingers in and down right there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, it stopped. But it's like he almost like wanted to push on you like this, like to supinate. And I think that's interesting. Now, I don't know if you remember, but were you giving him like a supinating pressure, or were you giving him like a...
So my plan, if I remember right, in that match was, yeah, just to try to grip a little bit lower to try to force his hand down more, which, like I said, was kind of part of the reason why I was complaining a lot. And in this round, finally, after complaining enough, in the third round, I got into the position I wanted to, and I felt like I finally got a proper setup.
Yeah.
yeah, that was my plan, was just like
You do
grip
have more
lower.
wrap here for sure. His hand is still quite high on yours, I feel like.
And I was able to get my pinky further forward because I wasn't like letting him get up as much because I was pushing my thumb
I
forward.
mean, I think center is a little bit your way, which is a good thing. One thing I do find interesting is I feel like they're letting him start with his elbow at the front of the pad, as are you, but his arm is so much longer that
Mhm.
he's getting so much height. Like your top knuckle is here, and his top knuckle is like
Yeah.
here, right?
Mhm.
So it's quite a bit of difference there. And I think that maybe they should be making him go from here to like scooch it to here.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, this is, these are all just hypotheticals. We're just talking perfect world
That was
scenarios.
my main thing is I kept saying, like, "Well, how is he so much longer, in the arm than me, but he's getting knuckle height? Like, this makes no sense." And he's like, "I'm just setting you guys up the way I set up anyone." And, so it's
Yeah.
just like this back and forth and, um
And they make him straighten out, a little supinated, but you do get good cup in here and you're on your side. You pull back. You right there, you set a really good cup and you take his pronation, which I find very interesting. And then you stay good and he goes into his kind of position. I liked right here though. Okay. I want to say you're so like he is encased your thumb. Like he has all of your thumb and he's got like the height, his knuckles, he's palm up a little bit, but he's not too bad. And you're dragging him over. You're at the back of the pad. You're doing the right thing. He tries to do a sneaky little move and push you off there. You roll. But even so, you manage to roll into your kings and like he climbs up on your hand, but you kind of compromise wrist a little bit there, which I find interesting. I do. And then
Yeah,
boom, Brian retains his rank. But
I just didn't have enough power at that weight, and, like, I did lose cupping and back pressure mostly when I dropped weight.
yeah,
Um, so, yeah, I didn't have enough power to do kinda like what I did with Ben. I think, like, if the version of me that pulled Ben pulled Brian, that would have been a pretty bad
yeah,
day for Brian, but,
yeah, no,
I have to
fair
prove
enough.
it. I have to prove it on the table, so
No,
we'll
for
see.
sure. I do want to go over. I'm gonna pull up the arms again and underground that we did.
Yeah. Mhm.
I just want to. I actually want to watch. I want to watch my match with Ryan with you because that's my most recent left arm match, other than Caden. I mean, we could watch that one too. Just to kind of, I want your opinion on things. I don't remember what part I'm in. Sorry, I'm just gonna find where I am. There's Cody. That was before this, I think. Oh yeah, okay. So I was still part one. Sorry guys, bear with me here. Bear with me. It was warm that day, hey?
Yeah, actually, I was, that's why I stayed in my, like, old school black Arms Again shirt during the day, then at nighttime, I switched to the orange ones. I
Yeah.
didn't
Oh,
wanna
I gotta share the screen.
sweat through it because it was pretty warm. But
Yeah.
once that nighttime hit, the lighting was so cool and so
I know.
bright.
I was kind of like cheesed. I was pulling in the day. Look at my mom. She's just so happy to be there.
That was great. It was great, meeting your dad too. He's a strong arm wrestler himself.
Yeah, he'll be there. He'll be there tomorrow as well. He's always there. Nice cheesy little walkout. And then I kind of like walking out first. Ryan, here he comes. He looks so scary. Like he's actually just scary.
Yeah. Thor's a good nickname for him. He's got like that. He's kind of like a Tim Lewis in a way where, he's got that look where like it feels very accomplishing to beat him just because he does look so
Yeah.
intimidating and strong.
Yeah, Ryan, we should have pulled freaking middle of the night, dude.
Yeah, Ryan, that would have been sick.
You would
Having
have had
guys just
so
walk
much
out at night.
aura. So much aura. Jordan Spidell giving him some smelling salts.
Oh yeah, I forgot they did those like animated cartoon characters too. That was cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I just kind of want to hear your opinions on this. I mean, I could talk about this all day, but Ryan, feel free to comment what you were feeling.
Yeah, let me
I
just
mean,
watch through this again.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Ryan isn't really liking what you're doing in the setup here.
He does the same thing that Brian's gonna want to do. I think Brian's hand is a little more intimidating than Ryan's. I don't know strength wise where it's at. I am just talking sheer size at this point.
Mhm.
But definitely I don't also think the reffing is gonna be as strict on
No, not
Saturday.
even close.
No.
Um, the big differences for me between like Ryan and Brian in terms of their grip is, well, Ryan's hand is smaller than Brian's
Yeah.
by a pretty good amount. But his hand is, I don't think his hand probably isn't super far off from yours in terms of size, but his clamp pressure is a lot more than what Brian's is. I feel like um, Ryan has a really strong hand, and I think sometimes that actually gets him into trouble because I think he over clamps
Yeah.
sometimes. Um, but he does have a super strong hand. It's pretty intimidating. I feel like he's really good at like making those grip pressures.
Ryan's
Kind of
hand or Brian's?
Ryan. At least when he pulls with me, like
Yeah.
he really gives me like a lot of finger pressure, and it can feel very uncomfortable sometimes. Um, yeah, this is the closest round if I remember.
Yeah.
You were able to get him into that hook. He kind of started definitely on the B side, but out of his main power. But that is the position he likes to be in, and he's pulled from those positions many times and pulled out wins from there.
Yeah.
So
I
I know
mean,
he's pretty comfortable.
yeah, I mean, realistically, like kind of what's going through my mind here was obviously top roll, top roll, top roll. And then I top rolled over and then I kind of stopped and I was like drug in and I kind of wanted to see where it would go in the hook. I mean, you can kind of see I give a little look at some point and I felt like, yeah, the look there. And I felt like my top rolling, like I thought I could probably top roll again. And I was like, I kind of wanted to see what the hook was like just to kind of test my left. But I knew if I let him get too much, I was probably not going to be strong enough because he freaking felt like iron, man. Like I was like, that's crazy. And then I really had to push in there. And I was like, don't blow your arm up. Don't blow your arm up. You know what I mean? So
That's why I said I think
really,
this round was important to me to see that you would be not just outclassed in terms of power going into the Brian match. I think I told you before, like this showed that you had the horsepower you'll need because Ryan is he's got plenty of horsepower. He's got plenty of pinning power for the class. He's at this time, what he was really struggling with was just the lack of table practice and not getting him coming to tournaments and then or going around to tournaments and going to super matches like that was his table time.
yeah,
So I think now that he's got a more consistent practice crew, he can like really hone in and utilize his power to the best of his abilities because he has plenty. Like you felt that in the hook,
yeah,
super strong, lots of power there. I think he just has troubles optimizing his setup and his start in order to get to his strength from the go.
yeah. This round's
But
kind of
yeah,
fluky. Like I get over and I just kind of push down and he doesn't get the slip in time. And then they manage to like his hand was definitely buried there. But it does suck when that happens. Like, you know, like I get the wrist. He's quite in on like his shoulders. Terry was not watching shoulders here, but that's okay. I mean, mine are a little off too. So, but
yeah, it can kind of look when you're dropping your shoulder because this is something that I do. A lot of people think that I'm really carved in, but what I'm doing is I'm dropping my shoulder and I'm jutting my offhand really far forward. So my
yeah,
shoulders are square, but just because I'm at an angle, it looks like I'm more carved in. And I think that's what Ryan was doing. Um, 'Cause I mean, at least for me, I would say Terry never let me once like do anything with my shoulders or like if I even
yeah,
started slightly rotating in, he always caught it.
yeah,
So yeah, I think that's what Ryan was doing there. But I will say that, like I said, I think this was an important match to know that you would be in terms of in the match in terms of power. Because that was my main concern with you going against Brian, because Brian's crafty and tricky, but I do think he also just has like a certain level of strength that you need in order to overcome. And I think Ryan's a
Yeah.
good representation of strength in the class for sure.
No, for sure. Yeah, so and then I just wanted to catch up in the chat. So Ryan said, "Yeah, man, hook was too far on the B side for me to come back from." Completely fair. Center hook, I think between you and I, you probably had a little bit. I don't think I could have B side held you with my left arm. To be fair, I would have had to roll. I think I maybe could have rolled, but hard to say. And then Tim said, "Reffing on Saturday does worry me a little. I always try to set up as fair and strict as possible, so I'm going to have to be in the mindset to try and get what I want." I 100% agree. When I did Garage Wars, I had to think the same thing. You need to have what you want as fast as you can get it. That way, when the go is said, you're happy, because there's a lot of times where you go up and you sometimes are fighting grip, trying to get little every single thing that you want, and then you might actually just not get a piece. So get all the pieces of the puzzle early. That way, if there's a go, you're happy. You'd rather be happy and have them say go and Luke be unhappy than you be unhappy and Luke happy. You know what I mean? So the more time you're happy up there, the higher the percentage you're actually going to be able to get, go on the right moment for yourself. And then, yeah, this one we slip, I believe. So I'll skip into it a little bit. See, Ryan's kind of doing that cup over, which now that I'm looking back, I'm happy he tried to do that. Like, he tries to grab me a little lower and gets over. I think Brian's going to be doing a lot of the same. I'm going to have to be just making sure I get what I want. One thing I am a little excited about, though, I will say, is you can see here how you can see where my elbow is. You can see my arm angle. And I think that's just because of Ryan's arm length. It did drop me a little bit. I think Brian's arm is quite similar to mine, if not even a little longer.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that that's going to grant me some capability to start maybe from like this to more like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that can possibly help me get some power. I'll show another match where I kind of explain that.
And one thing to note too, that's a little bit different about Brian's hand, is that the distance from here to here is long. Like he has a long palm.
Yeah.
So this distance, so you
sit
deeper.
People.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you sit deeper than you expect in his hand.
Yeah. He said, "Oh man, last round I was so uncomfortable." Yeah, I think a big key of beating Brian is not getting encased into his hand.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what on my third round with him in that one match, it's just like I just had to find a way to get him. I actually almost did a pistol grip with my thumb just to try to force him to come down.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to be sneaky about it for sure. Yeah, I had a lot of pronation set here and stuff. You can kind of see, like on Ryan's hand, he looks like he's trying to go early, but my pronation felt pretty secure. Everything else looks good. I just come over. We do end up slipping. I kind of exploding hand top roll on that. Exploding hand technique, sorry. Nice little Armageddon straps. I had one for 5 minutes and then someone stole it from me. So that's great. The thing in this strap is like, I made him so uncomfortable in the strap.
That's one thing that, again, I think the strap is something like when you go to practice, you just have to train in the strap a lot.
Yeah.
Or else you're going to be super uncomfortable, because if you're only in the strap 10 times a year, like
you can see right there too, like right at the end, look at the amount of height I gain right here. Like it's almost illegal.
You brought your elbow forward a little bit too.
Yeah. Like I'm pretty much as high as can possibly be. It was a very fun match. Ryan's super strong. I mean, he just recently got a win at Armageddon Underground.
Yeah,
no joke
Ryan,
at all.
The other Ryan Carmen.
Yeah.
Match.
That's something I hear consistently. "Oh, you got me in the setup." Oops. Oops. I do take some pride in that setup for sure.
Well, the setups, I spend most of my time at table practice practicing the setup and center table control, because I've lost so many times where I knew that I was in the power, but I just I lost in the setup. And I think you have to be able to get those advantages in the setup.
Yeah, so this is my most recent left arm match. I pulled Caden Esmond. He got third place in nationals on the left arm in the weight class below me. And I was not a favorite to win this either arm, to be fair.
So when you say weight class below you, is that 198 or 187?
No, the weight class below me would have been 187s. I pulled 198s. Sorry, Zach and Nathan pulled.
So it's only like a 10-pound difference.
Yeah. We were probably pretty close during the match, I would say. Like you can see, he's a very tall guy, very strong frame. He's got a very good setup. We got to battle it out lots. He's a very nice guy. This is a fun one to break down. Yeah, me too, Ryan. Our match was really good. It was a great time. So yeah, in this match, lots of straightening out. We do lots of back and forth complaining. Just trying to get the thing is when you watch these like national level Canadian pullers, and like it's always something. But he has a very fast hit too. It does kind of expose a few things that I've been working on for this prep. But for the most part, you can see me doing that thing I talked about doing for Brian there.
Yeah.
He's very high. Again, very strict reffing, making us see our knuckles, making us drop. Yeah. Straight to a slip. I mean, we kind of knew it was going that way.
It's good that he's fast though, because feeling that's really important with Brian, because his first movement's really quick.
Well, one thing I'm worried about, and you'll see it here, they call a pin, and it always. But even if you watch back in this corner, the one guy who's here, he's like, "Oh, that's an early pin." But he's fast, and I'm hoping that that's actually one reason I am excited about the arm bender being more laxed a little bit. Mm-hmm. Is just sometimes you have to bury the person to beat them.
Yeah.
But you can see how my this is kind of how I set my left up. I set my body. I try and really secure a couple things in there to just keep it lined up and everything. He just makes micro adjustments to try and throw me off. The biggest thing is just, staying composed, being able to have that endurance to set up and stuff.
Keeping your elbow in the middle of the pad or out towards the outside?
Right now, I think I'm more in the middle, just kind of trying to apply rise. But he's pulling me back. He's loading into me. I feel it. They give me a warning. I mean, I'll take the warning here to get the setup I want. You can see I get some hand real estate. Like you can see my fingers are now on the strap buckle, which is pretty good. You can see here. And I'm just trying to blow up.
I definitely think he's not liking that pressure you're giving him, because
he's giving me a lot. I feel uncomfortable in this too. But you see, I feel like they always call those short.
Yeah, and that's where I agree with you. In super matches, I think you should bury the pin.
I mean, that's probably debatable close, but I don't know. But I know Evan is a little notorious for calling early, so I mean that's fair.
And again, I think that's kind of okay in tournament format, but I think in a
Zach's even so Curtis is like, that wasn't a pin. Yeah, see, saying that much. My dad's over here in the corner cheesed. You know what though? Whatever. It did work out. But that's the thing with my left, and that's one thing. It has that rolling, stopping kind of consistency where it gets to kind of here sometimes. But if the refs call it, they call it, right? That's kind of a give and take. I have to play with that. Seabrook in here. Hey, guys. Ryan Boucher wants to beat me up on the right arm. Yes, I know. Your and Katie's match was fun to watch. Did really good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let me remove this chat now. We'll keep watching. Then I was just like, okay, you know what? I felt comfortable. I'm like, if I keep doing the same things I'm doing, you can see he kind of supinates. We're definitely having a really technical battle here. It's a lot of setup and stuff. I'm trying to keep a wrap, keep knuckle, keep pronation. He's trying to oppose those. He's not capped, or I think he is capped here, actually. I can't really tell. But I get height there. My elbow fouls. And at this point, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous because I don't want to go down 0-2 because, I felt like his hands buckling under mine. I feel comfortable, but it's never fun to be down 0-2. So I kind of told myself, just do a little more fundamentals here. Don't do anything stupid, more or less, is my mindset at this point. Again, we slip. I try not to elbow foul. Actually, my elbow's pretty close there. But regardless, don't get the foul. I think they call it straps. He calls for pin on his side. They talk about it. It does end up going to straps. Strap is tightened. He's complaining because where the strap is on his hand, and I didn't want it to be adjusted. They do end up adjusting it, which I wasn't too happy with, but regardless, he can have it. Lift my elbow a little bit for position. You can see he kind of gives a smile there. I do try and get a lot there. He doesn't really have much of a wrap. And I think at this point too, his wrist is probably a little exposed.
Yeah. I think he took a lot out of it actually in that first round, that hit he did.
Yeah. And see, he's complaining. Nope. But so one thing I did want to point out this match, so you can see how my knuckles high in the air. I think with Brian, I'll hopefully be able to get similar just because of our arms being long. Like he's got a long arm that matches up to mine very much as well. Whereas Ryan was kind of a different threat because it was a little shorter.
Yeah. He's squeezing you really hard. So he's kind of giving you everything you want right here.
Yeah. And then you can see we meet at the top. I just managed to come over top. I talk a little bit for all the lifting he was giving me. Managed to get the pin. We go back to our corners. We do it again.
Yeah, that's one of the beautiful things about the top rolls. I feel like when you get that dominant position, you can kind of take a second to appreciate it.
I don't know. Against Brian, I've heard not to even think about it, to be honest. But you can see here, his hit is quick. The thing is with me, I don't want to be giving out all my secrets here, but I'm okay with going to straps. So you're not really going to feel me clamping on all the time because I don't want to burn my cup by holding on. I'd rather work that in the strap. But one of the problems that does come with that is it looks like people speed me over sometimes just because I'm letting this go. And then it kind of gets to here when we slip. I think it's kind of a misconception at times. So you can see the strap gets applied again. You know, it's a lot of the same in this fighting. We kind of get our position. I'm looking for the things I'm always looking for.
He changed his elbow position.
Yeah, but we go early. He's very technical. He gives me something new in every round, and I'm trying to kind of keep it similar to where I feel comfortable. He's much closer. You can see he's almost looking press here, I think.
Yeah, but he's not challenging center enough to do that.
No.
Or maybe he just doesn't have enough wrist left to challenge center.
Yeah, I think he's so close here. You can see like he's pushing center, but I'm like trying to keep it no load. But you can see in the strap there, like with everything engaged, it is a lot trickier. But I will admit, this third round, I was very nervous. I don't know what he did differently, but it felt like completely different.
If you look at his pointer finger in this round versus the other rounds, and it's he had his pointer finger up like this in the other rounds, and this time he had it down and wrapped more. So he went from here to here. So maybe he was able to give more. He was
that could be it, just threatening a different pressure. But yeah, I don't know. And he was just loading up lots too, but it causes a lot of. You can see him kind of talking, but I'm just trying to blow things up, go back a little bit. Oh, we do go into ref script here. He gets a very nice hit on ref script, actually. It's one thing I do remember.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that's tough as a top roller is I feel like a lot of times people who pull similarly to you, I like to go into the ref script because it makes it harder for you to block some of the inside threat.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see that being the case.
But he gets a good top roll hit. We'll watch that again. I managed to keep kind of rise and pronation, and he goes kind of straight side. And then he dives. You can see where he dives and his arm disconnects. Right here, he drops. I keep the hold right here. And then I get the roll. I just bring it over.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a very good competitor. I mean, that was really fun. Caden versus Ian Johnson someday. Yeah, that'd be a fun match, honestly.
I think he might have needed really, especially in that last round, to set asked the ref to set his lower strap higher, because I think you were completely pulling his wrist out. Just I think that's one of the dangers if you're an inside puller and you like to have the like. I understand wanting and feeling better because it feels like you have more of the strap and more leverage by having it
Yeah.
lower. But I really feel like you need that extra wrist movement by setting the strap higher when you're an inside puller. Because as soon as you got bite on that strap, you could see like his wrist went from here to like instantly pulled out.
Yeah.
So that's one of the dangers of that, I think. So
Yeah, no, for sure. It can be tricky, right? No, and then guys, again, I mean, we covered some Andrews matches, we covered some of mine, just talking about, and the reason we're doing this, I know a lot of you guys here already know this, but if anyone sees it, the Montana Armbender is in 2 days. I'm getting up in the morning, driving to Montana with my mom and dad. We're gonna do our weigh-ins. I get to see everybody. We're gonna watch the Battle Zone. Please don't miss Battle Zone. If you're in the Calgary area, Perry's having a great event at the Good Games. Go check it out. Go get registered. Saturday, 5 p.m. Luke and Tim, the guy who sent me a super chat today, thank you, Tim, are kicking it off, and we are going to just roll through a crazy amount of matches. You can watch the prelims on YouTube, or you can buy the pay-per-view. You can watch the prelims, and then it will roll straight in completely to the pay-per-view. It's going to be seamless. I'm going to be commentating. Andrew's going to be commentating. Do we have any matches we commentate together? I don't think so. I think you're relief for me, right?
yeah, because I'm your relief during that middle section.
Yeah. So we won't be commentating together, but
I will be
maybe
commentating your match.
you will be.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say? What are you honestly thinking now that it's coming to that time? Do you got to see us beside each other, kind of thing, or?
I think just like anything when you don't have a lot of A to B matchup to match each other, you kind of really do have to see that first round because anything is really just conjecture up until that point.
Yeah.
But I have pulled and messed around with Brian enough to see just from your matches with Ryan, like we just went over, and many of your other matchups, like you've pulled Dalton and Declan, both people I know very well, where I think I can make a pretty well educated guess. And like I said, I do think that this match is extraordinarily close. I think the power is going to be roughly equal. But I do think that you being younger, and I don't think Brian will take this the wrong way by me saying this. I think you're a more dedicated puller at this time too. So I think you could have that growth advantage, and you might just start to edge him out in terms of power or technique or something else. But just based off of what I know and everything in the past, like I said before, I think it's super close. I have it kind of like 55-45. Slightly in Brian's favor, just again because of all the experience. I know how
I don't
technical he
blame you.
can
I don't
be.
blame you. So, I mean, if you look at where Josh Wilson's posting things or people are commenting and stuff, I would say I'm an underdog for sure, like especially in that region for sure. So I think it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, and I think it really comes down to if you're able to find a comfortable position in the first round, because I do think that if it and I know we've said this before, and me and Clifton have been on a couple times. Just based off of more recent information of what we're seeing of Brian, I think if it stops, it goes heavily in your favor now.
Really?
Actually, I do. Just based off of things like just recency bias, just what we've been seeing of Brian this year. Actually, before, just based off of historical data, we were always thinking, maybe Brian has the edge in that department. But now I'm starting to more lean towards if he can't finish you, kind of like in those Dalton matches where he got him super close to the pad and then Dalton was able to pull back through.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might have some issues in that department. And again, I know he's getting a little bit older, and he's had some troubles with certain injuries and healing them and coming back. So I don't know if some of those have caught up. But we can only see what version of Brian does show up. Maybe we just didn't get to see good versions of Brian against me or Dalton or whatever, and now you're going to get a monster version of Brian.
Probably.
But I do know he hates losing, so I'm sure he's.
I don't blame him, man. I love winning. I hate losing more, man. So
yeah, I really love this matchup, though. I really do, and I can't wait to see the right-handed version because I think that does have to happen one day too.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Let's talk hypotheticals quick. Mm-hmm. Let's say we do pull right arm at some point in the future. John, we're cutting it off here, but thank you for that. But just one quick hypothetical. If we pulled right arm, what differences do you see?
I think the main difference we'll see, and now I know recently you've been saying that you feel like your left arm is catching up to, or maybe even surpassing your right in certain lanes or certain ways. But again, just going off of historical data and what I know and what I've seen, I feel like Brian would not be able to win the start against Declan. I don't think that he would be able to. So I think it would kind of. I honestly think that the match with you and Brian might look a lot like the match with you and Declan.
Yeah.
I think that it could look that way, but Brian is a more technical and more intelligent arm wrestler than Declan, and I think he can make better adjustments.
Do you think Brian has a better elbow than Declan?
I think he has a more endurable elbow for sure, but I don't think he has as much top end as Declan. I think Declan has one of the highest amounts of top end.
Declan was like if Declan had this much more in that second round, man, I'm telling you.
Yeah, his I think Declan's top end, and if Clifton's still in here, he could say himself. Declan's top end is definitely surprising if you don't prepare and brace for it. You can't take him lightly just because he can hit so hard. You have to be braced and prepared because he's very coordinated, and I think Brian is too, and that's what makes Brian's hit so dangerous. He moves his whole body as one unit, but he is an old school arm wrestler, and like you said, I think that gives you some lanes to pick things apart. Like you said, he likes some of those tricks we used to see, where and they're a little bit out of favor nowadays, I think, for a reason. But I do just in my head, I would actually put it the other way where I would give you the advantage in the right arm because I think I don't think Brian's ever beaten Declan right armed. I'd have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure Declan beat him. And so that gives you that kind of
I'd like to see that footage
matchup. And then it was the only time I think I can remember was a tournament match. But and then I also think though that again, something about if you go back and watch the Brian and Miles match, Brian's right arm is just really, really technical, and he can make a lot of adjustments with it that you don't necessarily see as much on his left. And that's another thing that Clifton can probably attest to is that Brian that right arm is just very.
He's got a sneaky top roll.
Yeah,
it's a really sneaky top roll.
It is, and it's just his right hand is just very intuitive, and it just kind of does things, and I think it's pretty tough, but I do think his left hand has more power.
Interesting. That's exciting. Well, you never know. That match could happen in the future. I will answer John's question before we go. He said, listening to the show on the road to the good games, any last minute tips for Jeremy? You know what? Here's my thing, John. I think you guys are close in the hand department. I don't know where your arm is, but I know when we pulled John, that's where I had some success, was actually having to flop you. And so I could see you giving Jeremy hand problems, but his arm is quite good. So I would say advice to him would be get it onto your arm and get through your hand. And my advice to you would be negate his arm with your hand. That's where I would say that match. I'm going to be watching that tomorrow. I'm super excited. Live on United Arms TV, Battlezone, guys. Don't miss it.
Jeremy is he pulling?
Jeremy Drouse.
Oh, okay.
The one that pulled Ryan at the arm, and I pulled Declan.
That's a tough match. I'm going to be looking forward to that too, John. If you can pull that off, that'll be huge because
it'll be
everyone
great.
has a lot of good stuff to say about Jeremy right now. Like they're all saying he's pretty crazy.
So, he's good, man. So, and then Miles said, my brothers, Miles, good to see you. I will see you tomorrow, Miles. We're going to watch these Battlezone matches. But Andrew, thanks for coming on. Pretty much going to nail it on an hour. So make sure you check out his YouTube. He's going to be at the Armbender. Guys, tune in. Pull up to the pay-per-view. Pull up to the YouTube. Like, I want, a couple hundred people watching this. I think that would be sick. Yeah, thank you, John.
One important note about the pay-per-view I'd like to say is that if you buy the pay-per-view, you can watch the whole Armbender, including the preliminaries from within the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But you can also, if you don't have the pay-per-view, you can watch the preliminaries on YouTube, but then it'll cut to the pay-per-view for the main event. So don't feel like you're going to miss out if you buy the pay-per-view, and you're not going to be able to. Nope, all the matches will be on the pay-per-view, every single one of them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, get the pay-per-view, guys. I mean, it's what, $6 US, $5 US?
$6 US.
Super cheap for the amount of quality you're getting. Sandris, Warzinski, Groot, and I'm telling you, I'm surprised Groot and Cody Wood pull in a viewership, man.
Oh, they are tons.
Like, Cody Wood gets like 200 likes on every post he makes.
Yeah.
Dude, people are commenting on Groot's stuff just randomly being like, you got no chance.
Yeah, they're going after him.
I know. It's funny. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited. But anyways, I will see you in 2 days, Andrew. To everybody else, thank you for tuning in. This is the last you guys are going to see of me until the armbender. I guess I'll say that too, guys. Whole weekend I'm gone. My content's going to be taking a break, going live today, and I'm going to be resuming every 2 days normally. Probably on Tuesday I'll start again. And then I got some ideas for some tips and tricks again. I kind of want to go back to that. I had a lot of fun with the interviews, but I want to get some tips and tricks underway, and we'll go from there.
We'll shoot some behind the scenes stuff.
I'm going to shoot a lot of behind the scenes stuff too. Yeah, that's true, guys. This is the last to see my scheduled content. There's going to be random posts of shorts and stuff of all that, me talking at the armbender. I'm going to bring a lot of content from there. So